What is the value of? Well, simple math, add it up, and you get 45, and therefore the answer is B. The number 1 million, well, 1 million, let's write it out. 6 zeros, so that would be 10 to the power of 6, and that's D. 4x plus 1 is 13. What is the value of 12x plus 3? Well, if we took that and multiplied both sides by 3, I'd get 12x plus 3 on that side, and then on the other side, I'd get 39, and therefore number 3 is E. In the diagram, the number line between 0 and 6 is divided into 12 equal parts. The number m and n are marked on the line. What is n minus m? Okay, so if it's 12, that means that 6 divided by 12 is 0.5. So each of those lines is 0.5. So this looks to me like 1. Therefore, this would be 2, this would be 3, this would be 4, and then n is 4.5. So n minus n is basically 4.5 minus 1, which is 3.5. And therefore, that would be B for number 4. Carly went for a run on May 18th. She did not go for a run on May 19th. She continued to alternate going for a run one day with not going for a run the following day. Between May 18th and 25th inclusive, how many days did she go for a run? Okay, so she ran May 18th. She ran then on the 20th, then the 22nd, then the 24th. So that's a total of 4 days, and therefore that would be E. Gin has 40 cupcakes, 75% of which are chocolate, the rest are vanilla. If Jin wants to bake more vanilla cupcakes so that half of the cupcakes are vanilla and half are chocolate, how many more vanilla cupcakes should she bake? Okay, so we got 40 and then the 75, so 30 are chocolate and then the other 10 are vanilla, right? So this 10 we want to add a certain amount, and then that means once we add that, the total will be a half, which is 50%. Okay, so cross multiply 40 plus x is 20 plus 2x, and therefore x would be 20. So she needs to, I actually don't even know if this Jin is male or female, but Jin needs to bake 20 more, so that would be B. Which of the following integers has the same remainder when it is divided by 3 as when it is divided by 4? All right, well, let's do it. The remainders would be 0 and 3 when they're divided by 3 and 4 respectively. 2 and 3 for 11, 1 and 2 for 10, 1 and 1 for 13, and 2 and 0. So the remainders are same for the number 13. If Q2 is shifted 5 to the left, down 6, you get R. What is R? All right, so let's do this on a graph. So we have 4, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so 5 units initially to the left. So we're going to end up here, right? So we end up at minus 1. And then 6 units down, so we're going to end up at minus 4, I believe, right here. So this is minus 1, minus 4. And that is choice A. The length of rectangular prisms' edge lengths are integers. Faces have areas 12, 20, and 15. Volume of the prism. Okay. So let's just draw this prism. Okay, so we have length, height, and width, correct? So, does it matter? Not really. I can just label them whatever I want. 12 and 20. So based on that labeling, H times L is 15, W times H is 12, and L times W is 20. Okay, so you can probably do this by inspection. I mean, otherwise, it's a system of equations, but I don't think you really need to. You can solve it if you want, but I can just do it by inspection. This is 3 times 5. This is 4 times 3. And this is 4 times 5. So that means that H is 3, L is 5, and W is 4. So the volume would be length times width times height, which would be 5 times 4 times 3, which is 60. And that is choice A. A Nelson card has a number on each side. 3 Nelson cards lie on the table as shown. Jen flips the cards one by one. Flipping the 3, then the 7, then the 8. Each time she flips a card, the mean of the 3 visible numbers increases by 1. What number is on the opposite side of the card 8? Okay, so first let's calculate what is the average initially. That is 18 divided by 3, which is 6. So we want that mean to go up to 7. So we want 3 plus 7 plus something. This 8 is going to flip. And then let's say on the other side there's an x, a certain number. And we want that to be 7. Okay, so 10 plus x is 21, and therefore x is 11. So the answer to number 10 is A.